Our next guest, Christie Brinkley. Welcome to the programme.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be
It's
here.
a brief visit, though, isn't it?
Well, I'll be here a full month.
A full month, that's
8
brief.
shows a
It is.
week.
Yes,
Yeah.
gosh.
And, well, for me, it's a thrill because it's the longest I've ever gotten to stay in London.
Yeah.
I've been here many times before. I always have the best time here. So I'm excited. I feel like I'll get to know a little bit, you know, the way things work and
Yes.
feel the whole culture and everything.
We'll give you a couple of just small hints in a minute.
I
And also,
think
we
so.
need to ask you about 500 swimsuits in a minute.
Okay, okay.
And with 500 magazine covers, not all in swimsuits, I should add, and made history with a record 20-year modelling contract with the cosmetics brand
She
CoverGirl.
panicked a little bit about the 500 swimsuits thing, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now, the original Uptown girl, Christie Brinkley, has swapped her, well, gorgeous shoes, which actually she's still wearing, for fishnets and dancing shoes as she prepares to take on the role of Roxy Hart in the musical Chicago.
So we'll talk to Christie again in a moment. First, here she is on stage.
The lady raking in the chips is gonna be
Roxy. She's gonna be a celebrity.
that means somebody everyone knows.
They're gonna recognize her eyes, her hair, her teeth.
My boobs, my nose.
When she gets here,
1920,
how old were you?
don't remember.
Then what happened?
I'm at anus.
And here she is live. You've not seen pictures of you doing that before.
No, you know, doing theater is actually very so different from modeling, because in modeling you sit there, you take a picture, you look at yourself in the mirror, make sure it's all okay. And here you do your makeup, you go out, you're in lights that you never actually see if the makeup's actually working or not. You do the show and you go home and you have no idea how the whole thing looked. So seeing that was kind of
Revelatory,
interesting.
yes.
Because you were on Broadway, though, for 11 weeks, weren't you?
Yes. Oh, what a thrill. And now it's led me here to the prestigious East End, so I'm...
Or West End even.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
East
live
End.
on,
You
I
can
live
go
on
to
the East End.
the
of
East
Long
End is
Island,
quite
so-
prestigious,
West
but-
End.
Yeah, the East
Yes.
End of Long Island is
East
prestigious.
End of Long Island,
The East End of London, not
West
quite
End
so
of London.
prestigious. Yes.
Okay.
But well, you're entitled to be slightly confused because it was you did your first night last night.
I had opening night last night, and I just got here Saturday night,
Yeah.
so I'm
You're all over
jet
the
lagged,
place.
and I'm excited, I'm, you know, everything, so, you know, a little punchy.
Will that be all right, then, when you're singing and dancing, to be a little punchy? I
Well,
mean, do
it
you
could be
just
an
get straight-
interesting show tonight, you know?
But
I know you could sing and dance. When did that? I mean, could you always do so? Had you always been in
Well,
plays?
I've always been singing and dancing around my house and in the car, and usually my kids reach for the radio and turn it on as soon as I start doing that. And I had no idea. And when they asked me if I was interested in the role, I was shocked. I was like, are you sure that me? and then I said, well, I'll audition and see what happens. And I really thought that my story was going to be, well, kids, one day I auditioned for a Broadway play, Chicago. And then I went in, did the audition. They said, we'd be honored to have you. Then I was like, what?
so this
Really?
is your stage musical debut, and it's on Broadway.
Yes.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Yes. And I'd never really had, I mean, I'd had like small parts in little
Yeah.
movies here and there, but never really, I never considered myself an actor or a singer or a dancer. And so I got some dancing lessons and singing lessons, and you know, working with Chicago is such a privilege and an honor, because this is one of the longest running shows, you know, in theater, in the theater world.
And are you aware
and
of the other people who played Roxy? Because it's a sort of
Oh,
guest
yes.
star role, and you think, oh, how am I going to measure up to them? Or,
Yes, well, you know, you don't really have to think that, because the whole fun of the show is that everybody sort of mixes their personality with the role, and people like to sort of collect Roxys and Velmas. Yes, I've seen like 7 Roxys now, and you know, so you try to make it your own,
Yeah.
and try not to think about all of that stuff. And Anne Reinking said to me, yeah, I got to work with Anne Reinking for a couple days, and she said to me, just go out there and have fun. And that's been my MO ever since that day. It's just, I want to have fun out there. I want to enjoy it, and I want the audience to enjoy it. And
If you
and
do, there's a chance that they will.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
We said Uptown Girl in the script into you. I mean, that is, you're never going to be able to shake that off, are you? Does it bother
Uptown
you?
Girl?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I love it. I mean, you know, how many people have a theme song, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, no, I love it.
Downtown Manhattan, it was. I happened to walk past one of the nights you were filming it. It was amazing.
Isn't
All
that
those years
amazing?
ago. Yeah.
And the motorcycles in the background, right there that you just saw,
Yeah.
that right there, on
Yeah.
the left, that's my choreographer for Chicago. He's
Really?
the dance supervisor international for all the Chicago.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
isn't that a funny coincidence?
coincidence.
Gary Chris, and there he is. There's Gary. Yeah, and then here we are together again,
Yeah.
doing this. You know, how many years
Who'd have
later?
thought it?
Billy came to the show in New York the other night, right towards the end of the show, and he came running back to the at intermission. He's like, I always knew you could do this. and at the end of the show, he said, you know, you got a lot of ham in you for a vegetarian.
Very good.
Can we talk about the? I was going to say the swimsuits. Can we talk about the fashion covers? 500 fashion magazine covers, front pages, right? Which is
Yeah,
the place to be in a magazine.
That's the number that they throw about.
Okay, more than 500. How many of them are swimsuits?
Because
Because that's what made you famous. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm getting tapped on the
It's just a little obsession about
It's no, but because it's what really made you famous in the first place. I remember.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think what happened was when I did Sports Illustrated, it introduced me to the male half of the
Yeah.
population. Before that, I was doing women's magazines and, you know, beauty and hair and fashion. And so that really opened up the other half of the world. And I was the first model to do 3 covers in a row
Yeah.
of Sports Illustrated. So that created kind of a buzz. And yeah.
And then
so,
just went on and on and on. Great.
and believe me, doing swimsuits, my very first job ever was a swimsuit. And they handed me the bathing suit, and I was like, oh no. And there were no pockets. I didn't know what to do with my hands. I was squirming around like, oh, what do I do? And the photographer was like, yeah, oh, she moves great. Yeah, okay.
No one's ever
And-
done that on the sofa
and-
before. No one's ever done that on the sofa before.
Well, but
Yes.
I was just going to say,
Say.
the great things about swimsuit shoots are the locations.
Yeah.
So it's worth the squirm and the nerves associated with, you know, doing that to be like on great places around the
We're
world.
going to have to stop now before someone here gets overheated. Thank you very much, Christie. Good luck.
Thank you so
Good
much
luck
for
in
having me
Chicago.
on the show. Cambridge Theatre, 8 days a week,
Okay.
7 days a week, 8